welcome to Friday's Let's Get Cooking Live. I'm so glad you're here today. I'm going to get the recipe page up here so we can all be cooking together. I know a lot of you had commented and you were really excited about we're having a rhubarb day. How fun is that? Everybody likes rhubarb. So here's my question of the day for you. Where are you from and where can you find rhubarb? Because I always thought, I don't know, I thought rhubarb was like a Minnesota thing, you know, or it was like just a Midwest thing. But somebody commented that they were from Alaska. They're not going to be on here live stream, but they're going to be here later. And that they get rhubarb also. Oops, I forgot to turn my sound down. So I have to be really close. Janice, hello from Calgary, Canada. So where do you get your rhubarb from, Janice? And Quebec, hello, Natalie from Quebec. Love the name. Hey, girl, I'm in North Carolina. Sherry, can you find rhubarb where you're at? Or do you find it like in the frozen section of your grocery stores? That's my question of the day. Deb, just saw it at my local fruit market. I'm in Florida. Wow, so you can get rhubarb in Florida. I never knew. I thought it was just like a wild plant we just found in Minnesota. I didn't know this, so this is really fun to find this out. Kelly, hi, Alexandria, Minnesota. Yes, girl, I know you found some rhubarb from your mom. Isn't that great? Moms with rhubarbs. Janice, a friend who grows it. Oh, that is so fun. There's a joke that kind of goes around here. I don't know if it's other places also, but they said you can tell the person who doesn't have friends when they're buying zucchini at the store. Because usually here everybody grows a lot of zucchini and there's a lot of it. So usually friends are like, please take some zucchini from me. So it must be the same with rhubarb. That's kind of funny because I have a lot of friends. Cindy this time, she was like, hey, my dad has a bunch of rhubarb. You want some? I was like, yes. Perfect timing. Donna, Montana, people grow rhubarb grocery store and it grows wild in places. That is so cool. Cindy, my dad is my supply. Yes, and mine too. Thank you, Cindy's dad, and thank you, Cindy, for the rhubarb. She gave me this huge bag full, and I diced it up, put it in my freezer, and I filled 3 of these full of them. So I'll be good with rhubarb for, I don't know, a little bit. I'll be good for a while. This is great. So if you didn't know, you can, if you get an abundance of rhubarb, you can dice and freeze it for later. Janice, hi Natalie, happy to be here. Thank you for joining, Janice. I'm so glad you're here too. Oh, we have another Instagram comment. I love it, so fun. All things, it sounds a little far away. I'm gonna go try the Facebook page. It's on Facebook too. Yes, it's on Facebook, and I'm not sure why it's sounding far away on Instagram. I'm sorry. I can talk louder. I've never been told you're too quiet. Usually I'm always too loud. Lisa, hi from Lansing, Michigan. My first time joining you live. I need to make friends with a rhubarb grower. I have to buy it. That's okay. You can buy it, get it from a friend. Wherever you get it, you can just eat it and it'll still be yummy too. Jenny, hi. I love your cooking shows. Oh, thank you so much, Jenny, and thank you for joining on Instagram. Wendy, hi from Luxembourg. Okay, Wendy, here's a question. Is rhubarb like grown in Luxembourg? Or do you buy it at the store? Can you even find it in the UK? I'm not sure. I've never been there. I wouldn't know. So let me know. Can you find rhubarb? If not, if you don't have rhubarb or you don't like rhubarb, that's not a problem. You can use any fruit for any of these recipes and it'll still be just as delicious. I was just asking you about rhubarb. Awesome, I have so much. Yay, what perfect timing. Well, it is springtime here in Minnesota, so all the rhubarb is kind of coming up and it's getting ripe. I know my rhubarb, I just went to check on it a couple days ago, and thankfully I did because it almost started to flower. You rip that flower off and it was ready to harvest, just a little bit of it, not too much. Oh, Wendy said, yes, we can. That is so cool to know. I didn't know that rhubarb was that far growing everywhere. That is so fun. Oh, another Instagram comment. Yes, hey, Carrie, so fun. Yep, okay. All right, well, we're gonna dig in. I have 2 recipes here we're gonna do today that are full of rhubarb fun. Oh, Amy said I can pick it from my neighbors. That's awesome to have nice neighbors. So we're going to make two different things with rhubarb. Rhubarb is actually easier to use than you think, and it actually goes really well sugar and flour free, because you always think rhubarb recipes, you got to put a ton of sugar in there to make it taste good. You don't. The bananas are just perfect enough to sweeten it. I've made apple rhubarb jam. That was delicious, just equal parts apples and rhubarb. My favorite, though, is strawberry rhubarb jam. Just equal parts strawberry rhubarb. You make it like the apple jam. You can find that recipe on my website, weightlossrecipescookbook.com. It'll be in the Pinterest tab of the recipe. Or I do have a bunch of jam recipes. I have one in volume 3 and then volumes after that. You can find some jam recipes also and switch it out for rhubarb and strawberry. It's so good. Any berry with rhubarb is good. Tammy, I just got some rhubarb from my parents to make your jam recipe. Yay! So excited, Tammy. So good. And then it's really good to have that like on top of yogurts or parfaits for lunch or even parfaits for breakfast. So yummy. We're going to make two different things today. We are going to make rhubarb cheesecake scones, and then we're going to make a rhubarb coffee bake or coffee cake, coffee bake. You can call it whatever you want. I was going to say something about these. Oh, yes. So the rhubarb coffee bake, or it's the cheesecake. No, it's the rhubarb coffee bake. This recipe is going to be coming in volume 11, which I'll let you in on the secret. Okay. I just finished volume 11. So now it is in the editing process. So we are like only a couple steps away from volume 11 being done. There's more rhubarb recipes in that, which is so tasty. There's some more of my favorite recipes in there also. So exciting things. Over 60 recipes in that volume, because I'm like, you know what? We got to get this recipe in there too. So that's coming really soon. It is in the process. Kelly, woohoo! Me too, woohoo. All right, little woohoo dance break. Yeah, woohoo. Okay, we're going to start with our rhubarb cheesecake scones. And whenever I think of like scones or cheesecake, I always think chickpeas. Cindy, yay! Yay. We're going to start with, Amy, yay! We're going to start with blending our chickpeas. I had some questions about, in my cookbook, still my earlier volumes, I don't know why I didn't specify if it was canned, dried, or raw, or if it was just cooked. So if not specified, it's always cooked chickpeas, or it's always canned chickpeas. Most of the time it's canned chickpeas because I was too lazy to, cook my own chickpeas, and I wanted the aquafaba from the cans, which it's better in the cans than cooking it yourself. So if not specified, it's always cooked beans. Now I do specify later on in my volumes. They grow with me, right? We're learning new things together. So we're just going to drain these. I like to do 2 cans at a time because then I leave them in this Tupperware blended in the fridge for later use. Perfect to just be like, oh, I need some blended chickpeas. Before I was doing it, blending it like 3 ounces at a time. And then you'd have to wash the blender. Then you'd have to get out more chickpeas. Then you'd have to wash that, blah, blah, blah. But a friend on the recipe page, she's like, oh, I just blend a whole can at a time and then I put it in the fridge for later. That has changed my life. So I do 2 cans at a time because there's more than just me in the house and more than just me who likes chickpeas. So you can rinse your chickpeas. I like to drain them. I have found that organic chickpeas and non-organic chickpeas do have a different texture. Different brands of chickpeas have a different texture. I found that the organic can tend to be a little bit drier, so I like to drain it but not rinse it because I want a little bit of the chickpea liquid in with it to make it a little bit softer. But you can rinse them if you like. To me, I haven't noticed like a flavor difference in rinsing them. Another thing people have said is if you want like really super smooth hummus, you can take all the casings off all the chickpeas. Too much work. I like easy recipes. So we're going to throw these cans. Hi, welcome, Carrie. We're going to blend this. You can use a food processor. You could use a blender. I like to use my little immersion blender or hand blender. I got this right off of Amazon. So we're just going to blend this up. You can find a link and a list to all my like favorite Amazon finds. I have some things that are either the exact same thing that I have or pretty close to what I found at like thrift stores and garage sales. You can find that list on my website. On the homepage, it'll be there. It'll say, click to find my favorite baking dishes and more. And then it's on the store page. It's on a couple of pages, so it's easy to find. So we're just going to blend this up. I got this off of Amazon. And we're going to blend this till it's smooth. I like to cover it a little bit because at the beginning it likes to spew out tiny little chickpea little shavings. So you want to get all the big chunks. You don't want any big chunks left. Make sure you get to the bottom. Just kind of get everything in there. You just kind of squish it down as you go. And then once it kind of looks like all the big pieces are gone, I like to scoop out the blender part to make sure there's no hunks in there. Now, don't put your fingers in the blender when it's still plugged in, but I do put a fork in there because I think, hey, if it blends the fork, it ain't going to hurt me. Maybe. Hopefully. So we're going to just kind of get, so I can see that there was a couple whole chickpeas in the blender part. So that's why I like to do that. And then blend it a little bit more. I don't think you can over blend this. You want it nice and soft. And then you can make hummus out of this. You can make the hummus cookie dough or the chickpea cookie dough in volume 3. That one's really delicious also. You can make some cheesecakes with this from volume 2. And you have blended chickpeas ready to use. So easy. One of my favorite hacks. Make sure you get all the corners because sometimes the whole chickpeas like to hide in the corners. Oh, so I put in one of the things before we started, so I'll show you after. I don't want to ruin the surprise, so let me get it out. Because then we don't have to wait while it's cooking. Ooh, it needs a little bit longer. Needs just a little bit longer, but it's a surprise, so I can't show you yet. Kathy, hello. Thank you for joining on Facebook. All right, so we blended our chickpeas. So now we're going to need a bowl for our scones. So you're going to want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. I have my little oven over here at 400, and then that one will be for the rhubarb berry coffee bake or coffee cake. So we're going to do our scones in this one, so it's 400. You want it pretty hot because we want to cook these fast and quick. So we blended our chickpeas. Now we're going to add our banana, and we're going to mash this. So we're going to do 2 ounces banana. I was looking at the chickpeas. Kelly, hey, Mama Kathy. Is that your mom, Kelly? Oh my gosh, that is so fun. Mom and daughter together online. I just love that. That is so fun. Okay, so 2 ounces banana. That is so fun. You girls are on here together. We're going to do 2 ounces of this, and then we're going to do the rest of our fruit in the rhubarb. Perfect, 2 ounces. And I like to mash my banana before I add everything else. So we're just going to squish this up here. Squish, squish, squish. I want to make sure there's no big chunks. And I don't like to mash my banana on top of my scale because I don't want to break my scale. It's not like a $2 scale. And it's my baby. I use this all the time, 3 times a day, every day. The official, Carrie and I are cousins. Oh my goodness, that is so fun. Cousins on here together. I love it. Well, welcome, Carrie and cousin. So fun having you both here. All right, so we're going to add our chickpeas to our banana, our blended chickpeas here. Wait, I gotta get all the chickpeas off of our blender before we can add them. And then I like to right away, which I'm not going to do right now, I like to rinse off my blender right away. Then you don't have to like try to get all the sticky chickpea off of it. And then I just put it away because it's nice and clean. Make sure there's no bits. I unplug it first. And then I put kind of my fingers in there. Make sure there's no bits of chickpea left. Because it does get kind of dried on the blender. Then it can be a little bit more difficult to get off. So we're going to do 3 ounces blended chickpeas into our banana bowl here. 1.8. And that's half of our protein. Almost there. Perfect. 3 ounces. Now we're going to add our seasonings. So we're going to do some cardamom. Now, when I first got cardamom, I'm like, what is this? What does this taste like? I've never tasted cardamom before eating sugar and flour free. They said the closest thing to cardamom is nutmeg and cinnamon. So if you don't like cardamom, don't have cardamom, you can use a little bit of nutmeg and cinnamon each. But I do have some cardamom. I bought it off of Amazon. It's organic. It's ground. I've liked it so far. It's been really nice. And you get it in bulk, so it's a little bit cheaper than buying just the little ones at the store. So we're just going to do a pinch of this. You don't need too much. This is quite flavorful. Then we're going to do a pinch of sea salt. I just have my little sea salt shaker here. My favorite is the pink Himalayan. You could do about 1/8 teaspoon or a little bit more. I quite like salt. Salt brings out the sweetness of things and it gives it really good flavor. Then we're going to do some vanilla extract, which is also, I've been really liking this vanilla extract. It's the It's the Back to Basics. I got this off of Amazon. And with Amazon Prime, I think it even came with a coupon and it was a really good deal. It's a Mexican vanilla, but it says pure vanilla extract. So it's just vanilla bean extract and water. And then I think when they make it, they do a little bit of alcohol in it. I'm not exactly sure how that works. I'm just going to do a capful. You can measure it with your heart, however much you like. I like vanilla. This is also in the list of my favorite Amazon things. Let's see. We did our seasonings. Now we're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. No. Okay. If I could turn the camera around, I would. But I'm not going to. My mom is literally crawling in the kitchen trying to grab something, so she's not on camera. Oh, that was funny. Okay, I'm going to grab this. You never know what's going to happen live. Somebody might just crawl into your kitchen. Oh, this is perfect now. But I'll show you later. Okay. Back to our scones. That was hilarious. I wish you could have seen that, but I would have gotten in big trouble if I would have turned the camera around. Okay, so we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Grab my 1/4 teaspoon here. Or you could do a pinch. We just want a little bit of lift to it. And then I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. This helps things brown. Just a 1/4 teaspoon or a pinch. All right, make sure we have all our pinches and seasonings. All right, we have our banana ball, and now we're going to mix this together. I'm going to grab my fork from the chickpeas. We're going to use this again. Just going to mix and mash this very well until everything's nice and combined. And then we should have this beautiful mixture right here. This is what it should look like. Yummy! All right, what is next? Now we're going to add 1 ounce of cream cheese. So you could use the block cream cheese or you can use whipped cream cheese. I'm going to use whipped cream cheese because that's what I have right now. And I think it's easier to use than the block cream cheese. Now, we're not going to like super mix this. We want to just, it says to like chop in the cream cheese. So you're just going to kind of want to mix it just a little bit so you get some swirls of it in there. So I'm going to use a separate fork, and we're going to add 1 ounce of cream cheese, which is our full fat. Or you could use a tablespoon of butter, whichever one you would want for your fat. That was a 1 ounce perfect dollop of cream cheese. That was satisfying. Set this to the side. Let's see. We'll put that in later. So we're going to just barely kind of just chop this in there. So you're just going to want to just kind of mix it. Just like little barely swirls, just so you get kind of not too mixed. Till just combined. Kind of like you're folding in something. I think that's good. So there's still just some swirls of it, but not too much. So you can dice your rhubarb if you have it fresh. Mine's already diced. We're going to add 4 ounces of rhubarb. So I'm going to just sprinkle in 4 ounces of this. And then we're just going to lightly toss the rhubarb in there just to kind of coat the rhubarb with the chickpea mixture. 4 ounces. You could chop these into smaller bits if you want. But I think it'll be fun to have just a big hunk of rhubarb. Now we're just going to gently toss this just so the rhubarb is just coated. We don't want to mix in our cream cheese too much because we'll lose our good texture here. It does a texture thing if you mix it too much. I don't know why, but it does. It's kind of like if you over whip your egg whites. So we're good right there, right where it's just barely mixed. Now we are going to line a baking sheet or a baking pan. Ooh, I left it on top. It's so hot. You can either lightly oil this or you can line this with parchment paper. I'm going to line this with parchment paper. That's what the original recipe says, so we're going to go with that. To make this fit, I have to fold it just a little bit. Too much. So now we're going to divide our mixture into 4 plops on our baking pan here. So I'm going to get a spatula. And then this is where you make it into scones. You could make this as like into cookie shapes also if you don't want to be super fancy. But we're on a cooking show. We're going to be fancy today. So we're going to do 4 plops so you can kind of divide your mixture. And then how you make them into a scone shape is you make them into triangles with soft edges. So rounded edged triangle. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Do 4 plops. Or if you want to be like super low maintenance, super minimal, just throw this in a baking dish and just bake it. You could do that also. And it would be like a rhubarb scone bake. So we want to make sure we get all of our yummy mixture. No mixture left behind. And then we're going to kind of shape these into triangles. So make some flat edges, 3 of them. And then just kind of flatten it out. Well, this one wants to be a circle. We want you to be a triangle. You don't want to. And then we're going to make this one into a triangle. You can kind of tell, oh, this is where one triangle edge starts. Or if you want to be super fancy and make like real scones, they put it in a big circle, then they cut it. But this mixture is a little bit too soft to do that. You could try, but I don't think it'll work. We want triangle shapes to make them into scones. One more. Put this into a beautiful triangle. So, have you, since cutting out sugar and flour, have you made any recipes with rhubarb yet? Or were you chicken like me and you haven't made anything yet? Which is okay. It's a learning journey. It's an adventure process. I remember first trying it, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I love scones. I have them, not rhubarb scones. That's okay. Now you can try rhubarb scones. So here we have our beautiful triangles. So I'm going to put this in. We're going to bake this at 400 for 18 to 22 minutes. We're going to sprinkle this with another pinch of cardamom just to give it another layer of flavor. Or you could do nutmeg or cinnamon, whichever one you want. Now I'm going to do just a little bit of cardamom. Not too much because you can overdo it. Perfect. Just a little pinch here. So now we're going to put this in for 18 to 22 minutes. I have to switch out the paint. All right, here we go. We're going to put this, I'm going to set it to 20 minutes and then we'll check on it then. I think it's going to be perfect. Now, on to our next recipe. How easy was that? And how fast was that? And we only dirtied one dish, which is really nice because it can tend to be a lot of cleaning up sometimes. I know yesterday, Kelly, she was so nice last night. She wanted to make us all cheesecakes, and we literally ran out of every single bowl in our house. So she's like, oh, I guess I'll use some Tupperware, which works also. You just kind of make do with what you have. When there's 5 people in a house and they all like to cook and things, bowls and dishes can go fast. All right, so we're going to start, clean your area. We're going to start with our rhubarb berry coffee bake now. And we can use this same bowl, or you can get another bowl because there was no egg in this, but there's going to be an egg in this, so it doesn't really matter that way. Just if you want to use the same bowl, make sure it's kind of fresh, and that if you're making something that's not going to be cooked, don't use a bowl that had egg in it. That's just a hack that I like to do. We're going to start with preheating our oven to 350. I have my big oven preheating at 350. We're going to mash 1 ounce banana. But don't worry, we're going to be using more banana. But we're going to start with 1 ounce, and we're going to mash this. Perfect. 1 ounce. Grab a fork. We're going to mash 1 ounce banana. Get it nice and squished. And then if you have fresh rhubarb, you would dice your rhubarb at this point. You can't have banana goo on your hands when you're cooking. Now we're going to add an egg. I forgot to grab my egg. Let me grab one. And then we're going to play the game. Which egg is 2 ounces? I get my eggs from a farm, so raw or cooked, 1 egg should be 2 ounces. 2 eggs should be 4 ounces. So I play the game. I try to get at least 2 ounces. If it's like 2.1 with the egg, that's okay to me. But if it doesn't give you peace, you could take out some or just do the 1 egg rule. So I think it's going to be this one. Let's see. Oh, 2.1. So to me, that's okay because it's 1 egg or 2 ounces. Oh, I have a napkin. Here it is. Or you could take out a little bit. Sometimes, though, I've noticed that this scale will, like, differ by 0.1 ounces. Sometimes it'll just be sitting there, and it'll go 0.1, then it'll go 0. So it's not that much of extra. I always tell people, go with your pace. If you're, like, asking, oh, is this okay? Is this not okay? What does your peace say? Look inside, look at your gut, listen to God, and be like, okay, is this going to bring me peace, or is this going to take away my peace? If this takes away my peace, don't do it. It's not worth it. Your peace is too expensive. Tammy, I'm down 72 pounds now. Ah! Like 2 full suitcases. Tammy, that is fabulous. 72 whole pounds. That's like a small child. Oh my goodness. That is so, 2 whole suitcases. Now you can go like on a little vacation and bring 2 extra suitcases with, you know, and be like, hey, it's the same weight as if I would just sit on the plane. That is so wonderful, Tammy. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. All right, so we have our banana, our egg. We're going to add a splash of vanilla. You can measure this with your heart or measure it with a spoon. I'm just going to do a capful. It's just easy. It's right there. Doesn't dirty a dish. I just dropped my whole cap in my bowl. That's okay. Tammy, that is so exciting. Oh, I love it. Just those victories are so awesome. We're going to add a pinch of salt. And again, measure with your heart. Do a pinch. I like about 1/8 teaspoon or a little bit more. Kelly, that's amazing. How long did it take you to lose, Tammy? That is so amazing. I noticed that I was a little bit of a medium to slower loser, so if you're, you could be a slow loser or a fast loser, that sounds bad. But everybody's at their own pace. I know I saw people who when they started, they're like, yeah, I lost like 10 pounds in 10 days. And when I first started, I lost like 2 pounds in 2 weeks. My body was like, no, you're going to hold on to that fat. So everybody's different. Then I averaged out, once I got through detox and all that stuff, I averaged out at about 1 pound, 1.5 pounds a week, which was really good. So, and that tends to be in the little bit of slow to medium loser. Tammy, since November 2nd. Oh my goodness, Tammy, that is amazing. Congratulations, Kelly, that's wonderful. Oh, Tammy, you are rocking this. So awesome. We're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Because they are the power baking things. They work together. They're the power twins. Make it brown, make it fluffy, make it tasty. Then we're going to mix this. So we have our egg, our 1 ounce banana, our baking powder, baking soda, vanilla, and salt. Mix this all up. This beautiful egg mixture. Make sure there's no big hunks, which is okay because we're going to be adding more things to this. Now we're going to add our fruit. So we're going to do a total of 4 ounces rhubarb and then frozen berries. So you could use whatever berries you like. If you like blueberries, use blueberries, raspberries, use raspberries. So what I'm going to do, since it's a total, is I'm going to do about 2 ounces of rhubarb, and then whatever comes out to 4 ounces. It could be a handful of each if you want. Make sure to zero your scale. I almost forgot to. We're going to do 4 ounces total. 1 ounce. So I'm going to do 2 ounces rhubarb and 2 ounces frozen berries. But if I do more rhubarb, then I'll just do less berries. I have a bag of triple berry blend. It's organic from Walmart. It has blackberries, strawberries, and blueberries. That's a yummy blend. Try not to do too many strawberries because that can tend to get a little watery. So don't zero your scale. We're just going to keep adding this till it's 4 ounces. We got 1 strawberry, some raspberries. All right, 4 ounces, perfectly. And now we have a berry hand. Yum. Let's see, what do we do next? We added our fruit, our rhubarb and strawberries, and we're going to mix this again. Yum. We have our fruit and egg banana mixture. It doesn't look the best. This will be for breakfast. The other recipe, the scones, will be for lunch. So we are going to add some oats, but not yet. It's going to be like a crumble mixture on top. We're going to take a baking dish, or you can use like a mini cast iron skillet. This is a 6-ounce skillet. I found this at my local Aldi's. I found this at a thrift store. I really like both of these. This will make the edges a little bit crispier, a little bit more cooked through. This will give you a nice even and a little bit of a more softer texture, so whichever one you like. I've tried both. I like both. Kelly doesn't like this. I don't know if my mom does or not. I don't think I've made her anything in this one yet. This is a grab-it dish. It's a 15-ounce Corningware, range oven and microwave safe. So make sure that your glass dish is oven safe. We're going to lightly oil this. I also have these baking dishes. I have one that's a little bit deeper. These ones, I really like these. Also, I found these at thrift stores. They're really easy to find. So it's about 4 by 4 inches, and then you want the deeper one, not the thinner one. That one will fit this big, but like if you're making the cheesecake, you're going to need a little bit of a deeper dish. Definitely recommend oats. I tried rice. Ick, not so good. Oh no! Some dishes are okay with rice. Some, it would depend on the dish. As like a topping crumble, I don't think so. If it was in the recipe, like cooked in 4 ounces cooked rice, that might be yummy. But yeah, I don't think it would make a good crumble topping. That, no. Oh man, at least you tried it though. I like being adventurous. Even if it doesn't turn out, you tried it. That's awesome. So I lightly oiled my dish with just some spray olive oil. We're going to pour in our egg mixture. And again, you can use this same bowl. I actually recommend using the same bowl for the oat crumble, because then you get the nice, a little bit of the leftover egg mixture in with it, and that will help toast it up also. Kind of like a little bit of an egg white bath, that kind of thing. So use the same bowl, less cleaning. We're going to mash our other 1 ounce of banana, and that will finish off our fruit serving. That's 0.5, we need a little bit more banana. Let's see, if you don't like oats, you could use, I think, grits. That might be a little bit tough. Steel cut oats, I don't think that would cook well. Cooked quinoa might work a little bit better than rice, but I don't know if that would make the best crumble topping. That one would probably be the closest that I would use, would be cooked quinoa if you want a topping, not oats. You could even try like puffed kamut if you want more of like a cereal topping, or shredded wheat. Break that up. All right, so we have 1 ounce of mashed banana in here. Now we are going to add a pinch of instant coffee. Now, if you don't like coffee, I still would recommend getting some instant coffee. It's really tasty in recipes. My sister doesn't like to drink coffee. I like to drink coffee. But she likes instant coffee. She was shocked. So we're going to add about a pinch, or about, I don't know, half a teaspoon or less. It just gives it, Linda Steele said it perfectly. She said it gives it a warmth and a depth. And it so does, kind of like cinnamon. So we're going to add a little bit of instant coffee. Then we're going to add our oats. 1 ounce of oats. I just have some old-fashioned oats or regular rolled oats. Scottish oats would work also. Steel cut oats, I don't think so. Quick oats would work, I think. I've never really tried quick oats. All right, so we have our oats in here. Now we're going to add our pecans. You could do your favorite nut also if you don't like pecans. You could use peanuts, walnuts, whatever nuts you like. Almonds, we're going to add a ½ ounce. That will be 1/4 of our protein. And it gets like nice and toasted on top. It's so yummy. We're going to mix this up now. Our instant coffee, oats, mashed banana, and pecans. Woo, we're losing our oats. Get back in there, oats. I just spilled some more oats. That's okay. It was like one. Make sure everything gets a nice banana mixture on it. No big humps of just banana and dry oats. And this is where a little bit of the egg in the dish helps, because it helps get the oats a little bit more wet. So we're going to pour this mixture on top of our bake now. Tammy, are pecans chopped? I use this bag of chopped pecans, so yes. And then some of like the really bigger pieces I broke. Pecans are really soft and easy to break up. So yeah, I would break them up a little bit or chop them with a knife if you don't want to break them. Same if you're going to use like walnuts. Make sure that they're in smaller pieces because you want like a crumble mixture, not like one big nut on top. So we're going to just kind of crumble this on top. Can you see this? Yes, you can. Kind of get it evenly spread around. Get all the yummy oats out. Don't want to miss out on a grain. And then you can kind of just spread it out a little bit to even out the mixture. Make sure you get your oats off of your spatula. All right, so this is what it should look like with everything in there. I don't want to tilt it because the egg's a little runny, which is okay. That's what you want. Now, before we put this in the oven, we're going to sprinkle it with some seasonings. We're going to do some cardamom. You can skip this if you don't like cardamom. Just a little bit. And then we're going to do some cinnamon. Do a liberal sprinkling of cinnamon on top. JD, that looks delish. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to liberally sprinkle this just so I get a nice coating of cinnamon. This is where it gets to be like that coffee cake, where it's got that crumble topping. And then we're going to do some nutmeg. A little nutmeg on top. Make sure you get it everywhere. I quite like nutmeg, so I'm going to do a little bit extra. And that's it. So now we're going to put this in the oven at 350. We're going to cook this for 25 to 30 minutes. Depending on your oven, the hotness, just check it. And if it's like still runny or like it's not, you can do the poke test where you touch the top and if it doesn't spring back, it's not done yet. So I'm going to put this in for 25 minutes and then we'll check it later. Set the timer so you don't forget. Have you ever done it where you put something in the oven and you forget to set the timer? I would never do that. I've so done that so many times. Our scones are looking good. Ooh, they quite spread out. They're almost done. Well, that's almost done. I did cook the rhubarb berry coffee bake before so I could show you now. So I'm going to get that out and I'm going to show you it because it looks so yummy. I don't know if it's still hot or not. Oh, it's not hot. I can lift it. It literally took me like 5 minutes to throw this together. And I used the shorter dish and it fit perfectly because Kelly baked all of us cheesecake, so we were out of the deep ones, which we like to use. But this is what the finished product will look like. I might have done just a little bit too much cinnamon, but is there such thing as too much cinnamon? So this is what it should look like. Doesn't that just look delicious? Oh, and it smells so good. This one had a little bit more strawberries, and you could tell because you could do like the poke test, and it's stiff. If it's not stiff, it's not done. It shouldn't, well, when it cools just a little bit. Let it cool a little bit. Janice, yummy. Thank you, Janice. Ooh, I'm going to put this on a plate because I think it's going to come out really nicely. You can tell because the edges kind of separate from the sides. Let me grab a pretty plate. And I'm just going to use a fork to get it out. I think this will work perfectly. Nope, I'm going to use a spatula. Because that would be so sad to ruin it at the last second. Let me find a spatula. I want a little one. I have some. I have a little silicone one. Here it is. We're going to use this. So you can just kind of loosen the edges a little bit. The longer you leave this in the fridge, or if you leave it in the fridge overnight, the easier it'll be for it to just pop out. Because then it really solidifies and gets its act together sitting in the fridge. It's like a timeout. It thinks about its life. Ooh, is this going to come out? We'll see. I don't think it's going to come out because, oh, maybe it will. Nope, it's not going to come out. It's a little bit too soft, so we're not going to take it out. You can kind of tell because it kind of smooshed when I tried to move it. I missed the beginning. Is your rhubarb frozen? Yes, it was fresh rhubarb, and then I froze it so it wouldn't spoil on me. I chopped it up, froze it, and I put it in gallon freezer bags because I filled up 3 of these. So this is what it looks like frozen, just the tidbits. And I was pleasantly surprised it didn't like get all stuck together. That was really nice. But fresh works also. Fresh or frozen, they'll work the same in this recipe. Natalie, have you ever broken something before? Yes, many times. All the time. Just watch my past episodes. You'll see me break things and drop things. Oh, it's so fun. And our scones have dinged. Janice, do you recommend eating it warm or cold? The official, you're so creative. Oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Creative or just experimental? We'll let you decide. Eating it cold or warm? I would do either. So if I wanted to make this, I'm usually not one to like make things in the morning and have them like cook for half an hour. So if I was going to make this, I think what I did make it, I left it in the fridge overnight and then had it the next day. Or if I batch cook some things, I think I did batch cook some things and then I had them the next days. But you could eat it warm or cold and it'll still be just as delicious. All right, let's take out our scones. Ooh, they look so good. Oh my goodness, they smell divine. If we had smell-o-vision, that would be amazing. They did flatten a little bit more than I thought they would. So maybe the whipped cream cheese did that because it was whipped cream cheese instead of the block cream cheese, which I used before. And I think they could be cooked just a little bit longer because you can see this one is quite a light color and I want it toasted brown like the rest of it. So I don't know why it's spread out so much. It might have been I overmixed it. So this is what you don't do. I'm going to cook this for about 10 minutes longer, but this will still be amazing. And even ugly food is still going to taste good. And this shows that not everybody's perfect. Not all your meals are going to come out looking like the picture that you had them before, but it'll still taste good. And it's still going to be cheesecake scones. So I'm going to put this in for about 5 or 10 minutes more. Chickpeas tend to need to be cooked a little bit longer than if you're just cooking like an oat bake thing. So I'm going to pop this in the oven. Well, first, we're going to hold up our dishes. And this breakfast, to have your complete breakfast, you would top this with 2 ounces Greek yogurt. Yum! I really like topping things with Greek yogurt. It feels like frosting. And the yogurt, the creamy, cold, just yumminess on top with a baked thing is one of my favorite things. So you would top this with 2 ounces Greek yogurt or skip the Greek yogurt and do 1/4 of your favorite protein. You could do more nuts on top. You could have something on the side. You could put milk in your coffee, whatever you like to do. And then our scones here, you would side this with a 1/2 of a protein and 6 ounces vegetables for your complete lunch. Then this would be lunch. You get scones and vegetables and a 1/2 a protein. So what I would do is put the protein with my vegetables or do Greek yogurt on top of this. You could do something else on top of this if you want to, or have it on the side, whatever you want to do for your side. You could do like hummus and veggies. That's yummy too. You could do a cooked egg and then have some veggies, or do like a scrambled egg stir fry or an omelet. That would be so yummy with the vegetables on the side for lunch. And then you have your 2 delicious rhubarb recipes ready to go. You have breakfast and lunch. I'm so excited to try these. So yummy. Cindy, they still look delicious. Thank you. Let's see. Would they come up? Maybe. This is what I'm going to do, because I'll take a picture of this after it's completely done cooking. I'm going to just kind of form my scones again because they're quite soft still. So you can kind of just smudge everything back together to make them nice, thick, fluffy scones. Ha! It's working. Take that, flattened scones. We want you not flat. Again, be experimental. You never know. It could have been that my rhubarb was frozen, and then when it melted, it got a little watery. This edge is perfectly cooked, but we want the rest of it perfectly cooked. So we're just going to kind of form our scones a little bit better. We're going to cook them longer till they get their act together. But there we go. Look, they're even more delicious now. Perfectly delicious. We're going to pop this back in. And that is it. How easy. Breakfast and lunch done. If we weren't chatting the whole time, which I love chatting with you guys, you could make this in about, I don't know, put this all together in 15 minutes or less. I know Kelly, she made all those cheesecakes if you didn't see her post, and she made 2 breakfasts for herself. She likes to do that where she batch cooks for breakfast. And she said, she looked at the time, she's like, I literally made this in like 25 minutes, in like 30 minutes. It was so fast. She made a cheesecake for all of us. It was so sweet. Cindy, if you didn't put nuts in your coffee bake, how much yogurt do you get? Ooh, Cindy. If you didn't put nuts in there, you could do 4 ounces of yogurt, or you could do 2 ounces of yogurt and then put your nuts on top of that if you want to, or you could have 1/4 of a protein on the side and just do 2 ounces Greek yogurt, or you could do all 4 ounces Greek yogurt. So good. So yummy. JD, perfect for rhubarb season. Yes! Tammy, I wonder if I could use the jam in place of frozen berries and rhubarbs. Yes, you could. Yes, you could. That jam is good on everything. That jam is good in everything. Yes, you definitely could. And it cooks very well. I use a lot of the recipes. I made the strawberry rhubarb jam, then I made like a berry jam. I made a couple different jams with rhubarb, and they were good in like all the recipes. They're good baked in, they're good on top. It's just really good. Strawberry rhubarb jam. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it. It is good. So yummy. And the strawberries sweeten it just perfectly. Put a little pinch of salt, pinch of vanilla in when you're cooking your jam to give it a little bit more flavor, and yum. So good, because the salt brings out the sweetness. All right, well, we cooked our things. The scones will be done soon. I will post the recipe for these. I'll post one of them tomorrow, then I'll post another one soon, so you'll get both recipes before Volume 11 is out, which it's almost done. Volume 11 will be coming soon. It will be a delicious one. I'm so excited about it. Tammy, I put it on the peanut butter granola bars. Ooh, yes, that is a delicious idea. Yes, so good. Then it's like peanut butter jelly. Oh, Cindy, you could do 2 ounces Greek yogurt, then drizzle it with 1/2 ounce of peanut butter, or make a peanut butter fluff where you just mix the yogurt and peanut butter, put that on top. That would be delicious too. It would be nice with the depth and the warmth of the cinnamon and the instant coffee. So yummy also. And then you get the tartness from the rhubarb. I'm drooling already just thinking about it. Well, thank you for joining me today. Tammy, trying both of these right away. You're the best. Thank you, Natalie. Oh, Tammy, you are so sweet. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining me. It wouldn't be as fun cooking if you weren't all joining me in the kitchen. Also, you make this so much fun. It is so fun cooking with you and being together every Friday. I get to spend my weekend with my friends. I love it. All right, well, I will be back next Friday. Sherry, thank you, sweetie. Oh, thank you, Sherry, for joining. That is so fun. Join us tonight. We have Bible study right in the kitchen, right where this camera is. And it's our family in the kitchen. It's a great time. We start out with music and we sing, and it's uplifting. This is our last week of the Who Are You series, which has been life-changing, amazing. I've loved every minute of it. Janice, thank you, Natalie. It was yummy. Oh, thank you, Janice. Lisa, thank you. Can't wait to try these. So excited for you to try them. Yes, when you try them, take a picture. Even if it turns out flat like my scones, or it turns out different, or it turns out something, still take a picture, tag me in it. I love seeing all your beautiful creations and all your cooking skills. My favorite thing, and then I just drool just a little bit over every one of them. My favorite thing. All right, and remember, you're only one thought away from a good day. We'll be back next Friday. Join me right here again. You can find the replay and more on my website. You'll be able to find these recipes posted on my website. They'll be coming out soon. I haven't put them together yet, but I will, and then I'll get them on there. On my website, weightlossrecipescookbook.com. You can find past episodes in the video section, and then you can find the recipes in the Pinterest recipes. Follow me on Pinterest. I have a TikTok account now. I've been having a little bit of fun with that. It's been quite fun. I'm on Instagram also. I'm on Facebook. If you're on Instagram, you didn't know I'm on Facebook. I'm on both of those. It is a fun time being connected together on social media. All right, well, I'm going to let you go, and I will see you next week. I love you guys. Thank you for cooking with me, and keep your eye out for Volume 11 coming soon. All right, with joy, Natalie.